Hello my friends, and welcome back to the Cubangypsy from Jersey. And as promised, I am back. Yes, trying to wrap it up before the new year and bring in some messages. I'm going to be doing the Keepers of the Light, and we'll do Seers Tarot. Okay. This is not the last one. I think I might do 3 before the new year, so let's see what happens. But I do want to talk about the new year, and I'm doing the Keepers of the Light because I've gotten a lot of messages about tapping in with our ancestors, tapping in with that wisdom that we carry from generation through generation. And the messages are very strong, but they're very subtle, because as you already know, when it comes to spiritual messages, they're not strong. And you would say, why isn't it clear? I mean, just tell me. Because it's symbolic. Okay, the messages are symbolic and they're individual, so they are for us to interpret. That's why a lot of these dream books or dream interpretations, they're so different. Although they follow a basic theme, they're different because we take in messages personally from memories and from all aspects of who we are, who we were, and who we're meant to be. So yeah, so it's very subtle. The ancestors speak loud and clear as long as we are able to decipher the meanings. And I think of it kind of like it's like a mystery. You can look at it as a puzzle. I like to think about it as like a mystery, finding clues, connecting the clues, a synchronicity. And there's kind of an excitement to that. I personally like it, although sometimes when, I'm not in a good place, just tell me, just say it, and they're like, you gotta figure it out, right? But okay, so I do have a lot of messages, and one of them has to do with a saying that is very popular, which is, what doesn't kill you makes you strong. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There's songs written about it, there's all this about it, but I have a different perspective on it. I'm not going to share it now because it's kind of long-winded. So, but I will before the new year, because it is a message for the new year. Okay, and that is a strong message that I know that I have been getting for a while now, that kind of confused me a little bit. So I had to, follow the, well, those all fell, but the one that fell on my lap is the one I'm going to take. And it's because it is right on the money, which what I'm talking about, synchronicities, and I'm talking about ancestors, and what pops up, it is ancestor spirit, that white eagle. For me, eagle, when I see an eagle, or I don't see eagles in Hialeah, right? But when I see something that represents an eagle to me, which is hawks, there's a lot of hawks around here. It's the same family. And I always think of my dad. I think of my father, and I think there he is, he's protecting me. Okay. So so the white eagles, hawks, what other big birds? I don't know. Birds. Ancestors. Okay, protection. And it says, I'm not gonna fight it. It says, connect to your lineage. Okay, a family wound or pattern can be healed now. There is a longer reading of the card. I'll see if I get to it, but I really would just want to get the message from this card because I started it with the ancestors. Okay, so a white eagle, ancestors. Okay, this is where we can trace a beginning. Okay, and you can do it through going back in your family. Okay, and getting a sense of that through the family. But it's not just about your blood family. Very important. It isn't. Okay, our ancestors, and if we even want to get into that, I mean, aren't we all blood connected in one way or another? I mean, if we're going to trace ourselves back, I think, yeah. Okay, so our ancestors, not just blood. Okay, so look back at other connections of maybe people in your family that you weren't even aware. People you used to call uncles, who maybe weren't really uncles, but you called them uncles. They're part of that. But the ancestors are a group, for me, are a group specifically dedicated for us to get us to move on, get us to break patterns. There are chains that we need to break. There are contracts. I spoke about this in my quickie the other day, that it's time, okay? And what they're asking is not to cut. We're not cutting anything, okay? We don't want to cut. And sometimes when you cut, what happens? Something remains. You have to pull. You have to pull from the root in order for it to disengage, or in order for it to move on. If you're cutting contracts, if you're cutting relationships, there's a little piece that stays behind, which maybe you want that, okay? I like to do something else that's called disengaging, okay? Which is kind of like a chain that you just open and you let it float and it disengages. That, to me, it feels better than just cutting. You know, there's also unhook. You can unhook yourself. You can, I think of a ship too, in this case, where you pull anchor. Whatever it is that resonates with you as finishing these contracts, it is time. And our ancestors are going to help us because we need to move on to another land. We need to discover many other lands. Okay, we need to be nomads right now. We need to travel. If you can't do it physically, we need to travel energetically. Okay, we need to use something beyond our senses. We need to feel and be that movement and change. Ancestor is huge right now, huge. That's why it came out in the card for us, in order to in order for us to complete the contracts and get started on the ones that we haven't been able to because we feel we're still connected to that. It's done. They're saying you did as best that you could. You've done it. Don't stay there anymore. Don't get stuck in that mud, okay? If you feel you're stuck in mud, water comes to mind, right? Flush with water. Imagine water clearing and extending that mud, and have that mud then travel out. And it uproots. Water uproots. It uproots. Oh my God, I can say so much, and I know you want more and more and more, but maybe in the other readings I'll come back around to the ancestors for sure that I will. So let's do a card. Okay, let's do a card for that. Okay, very important. And also, I hope that you follow me for the next couple of days as I talk about not just ancestors, but as I talk about that phrase that I teased you with, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm gonna say it again because I want you to keep it in your mind as we reflect on it. Okay, all right. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is that completion card. It's that you've got it, you've arrived, and you've gotten everything. that you wanted. This card is beautiful. It's, look at the happy family. Happy family, everybody's together. There's mom, there's dad, or significant other partners. There's a child, and you've got the dog. You gotta have the dog. So it is the epitome of completion, which is where we're going in the next year. It is a number 9. It'll be a number 9 year, which means we're almost there. We're there at the Wheel of Fortune. We're there to completion, but we still have a little bit of work, like I said, to get to that ethereal. I'm saying ethereal because we all have that image of the perfect, right? Family, the perfect life, the perfect, getting to that perfection. And we need to get the word perfection out, because once we arrive, what happens with the 10? Numerology becomes a 1 and the wheel starts all over again. So just as we're completing in 2025, getting there, just remember, change is a constant. And once we arrive at what we thought or what we wanted or that perfection, it starts all over again. And it's beautiful, and it's change, and it's nothing to fear. All right, my friends. That was a lot. That was a lot, but there is more to come. I have more for the new year. We'll talk more about ancestors, and I'm going to tease you again with what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Think about that, and think about how it makes you feel when you hear that, okay? Because I'll be discussing all of that. But I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. I really don't know, but I do know for sure I will. See you soon.